it's a wonderful festival, and it honors cinematography and the art of cinematography. And of course, directors, I mean, that is our left and right hand, is our cinematographer. We can't do it without them. And they elevate our films. They take our vision and add their vision. And it's wonderful to honor them. And it's the only festival I know that does. And also see wonderful films from all over the world. But, and Bydgoszcz is wonderful, and the people are wonderful to us. But I think also it's American Kazakh. I think they are the soul, the heart and soul of the festival. And they're wonderful human beings. And I think one of the reasons the festival is so special is because it's them. Well, I don't really think of myself as the president. Everybody, the first jury I was on, I was never able to do grand jury because it happened, you have to be here, which is the time of our Thanksgiving holiday in the United States. So I have other responsibilities. But I finally told my extended family that I must do it this year because American Kazakh ask me every year, and I always say I can't, and they've been so wonderful to me. I must do it for them. So the first year was student films, which I loved because there were 33 films, and I think there were so many wonderful ones. It was very hard to choose the top three because there were at least 8 of them that were, and I did mention the ones I thought also deserved awards, although you're not allowed to do that. But I was out on stage and I did it anyway because I don't want those young filmmakers to think we didn't like their films. And then last year was the Polish Film Festival, which I also loved. We had, in both years, the student films and the Polish films last year, we had fantastic films. And so it was a pleasure. The problem is it always makes it difficult to pick. And as the jury president, I'm with very talented, experienced people too, and very smart. Cinema would be not cinema any longer if there was only one type of film. I think that we need everything from the smallest homemade film for no money to the most expensive blockbusters, like Avatar, and everything in between. Because if you don't have all different kinds of cinema, including international and all forms of independent films, you would lose inspiration, and also I think the audience would lose inspiration, and that would be a very sad thing. So I think there's always room for stories, there's always room for imagination, and there always has been with the beginning of film. What I said to Keanu in the documentary was, the movies gave us new ways to dream, and we're always, hopefully some of our films will give other people new ways to dream, and hopefully be better than us. I think this is too much bullshit because this is like when the mini skirt came out or the automobile, and everybody said it was the end of the world, or the telephone, that there will never be a piece of film again on the planet Earth because of this, and I think that's just bullshit. There will always be all types of filmmaking, and every new technology will keep improving, improving, improving. And I think any time in culture people decide that things were better before than they are now, nothing's better or worse. It's just different. And progress must move on. Nothing has stopped. Digital has not stopped. It's going to go on and on and on. Just as 35 millimeter did, just as 70 millimeter did, just as a camera who once used to do this and images used to pop up. They're there. You can see any kind of film you want. In America, you can dial them up on your TV set. I don't know about here. We have several, Netflix, Apple has one, where you can put in any director's name and there are all their movies or any star or anything, and you click it and you can watch it on your great big plasma TV or your little TV. And, movies don't go away. You've seen old movies, all of you. You're a different generation than I am. And you know lots of movies, and so will your children, and so will your grandchildren. Well, I think for very small films, sometimes the small screen enhances it. For very intimate films, because sometimes when they're huge on a screen, the screen is too big for that story. And it loses the intimacy. But I mean, I would not want to see Avatar unless it was IMAX and 3D, myself. And therefore you have a huge theatrical experience. I think every director would like their film to be shown on a big screen. But everyone doesn't have that privilege. And a lot of films now go to pay-per-view, which people just order them on television. And a lot of films cannot afford to be shown in a movie theater. They don't have the advertising, they don't have the marketing. And the theaters, if you don't have advertising and marketing, the theaters can't make any money. So therefore, they can't show them in their movie theaters because they have to make money. So, yes, it would be nice if you could fly to Paris today and go to the Louvre Museum and see, one of the famous paintings in person. But does it hurt you if you see a photograph of it in a book? Can you not appreciate it? What if you never get to Paris? Isn't that a better experience than never seeing it?